Okay, welcome back. So for today's class, we're going to talk about how to set up all the software that we need for this semester. And I've updated the website, so make sure that you check the course website regularly. What you see right now, you'll be updated in the future. So and for today, we're going to cover this section, software tools. If you click the overview, here give you some basic information about some of the things we'll be using. And so if you check the list here, these are the software packages that we're going to use throughout this course. The first one is Visual Studio Code. The second one is Gig, and then the Miniconda, and also QGIS. We might use QGIS from time to time for visualizing some data, but the first three will be the primary one that we're going to use. And so first one, VS Code or Visual Studio Code. Have you used that before? If not, it's basically so-called IDE, integrated development environment. So IDE basically you can think about just a software package you can use to write a source code, kind of like you use Microsoft Office like to write documents, Excel file, whatever. It's just a piece of software, and it's very lightweight. It can be used for Python, for R, for JavaScript, for all kinds of languages, and it's very powerful. Although it's very lightweight, because you can install all kind of extension on top of that, so that it provides a lot of functionalities. And pretty much this is the one they're going to use every day. May not every day, even not practicing every day, but for all the source code development, this is pretty much the most popular one we're going to use. And if you have used Python before, you might use some other IDEs. Another popular one is called PyCharm. It's free. I think they have a community version. If you want, you can also use PyCharm. This one is a little bit larger than VS Code, but it's also very popular. It also it's very advanced. But we're not going to use this. But you are welcome. So basically, you can use your own software. It doesn't matter. If you're really good, you can just use Notepad. You don't even need any IDE. But this one provides a lot of functionalities that makes it really easy. Also integrate with AI, Google, GitHub Copilot that can do all the auto completion. Just like right now, when you're writing something, I don't think you use a notepad to write things, right? You use Google Docs, or when you're writing email, they have all kind of auto completions. We want to use the modern IDE to do software development. I will show you how to do the installation later. The second one is called Git. It's basically a version control system that allows us to keep track of the changes. So think about if you use Microsoft Office to write documents, right? So when you have a new version, you might need to use the review, and then you can, or you might just save the file multiple times, multiple versions. But Git is something that you have access to the same file, but that file has the history, just like Google Docs, right? You can go to history to look at all the editing history. GitHub is also something like that. So you don't need to maintain multiple copies, like just like when you're writing a term paper. Term paper version 1, version 1.1, 1.2, 2.0, put version final underscore final underscore final. Like in Git, it's just one file, and you can go back to any time in history, and it doesn't take too much space, and it's very powerful. So this is the one that we're also going to use, and it's tied to GitHub. Okay, you might be wondering what's the differences between Git and GitHub. Anyone knows? Right? Have you used Git or GitHub? Uh-huh. Yeah, GitHub is basically online repository for storing your source code. But you don't necessarily have to use GitHub. You can use Git locally. It's just a piece of software for doing version control. But GitHub is basically a website allows you to put all your source code in there, and you can read all the Git history. And it's like have all the GUIs that allows you to share the source code and also check contributions. So what we want is to put your software on GitHub so that other people can see it. I can review, I can grade your assignments. Everything is going to be hosted on GitHub. But just that you know, Git does not rely on GitHub, but GitHub can utilize Git. Okay, and it's just for doing version control. Again, you're going to become an expert after this course for using Git. And the third one we're going to use is called Miniconda or Anaconda. You might have used it if you have used Python. And so Miniconda, Anaconda, you can see here, it's like Anaconda is a large Python package um, uh, management that include a lot of pre-installed packages for doing data science. It's a large one, but for this course, we're going to start with just the mini version called Miniconda. But if you have already installed Anaconda on your computer, then you don't need to install it. So you can either use Miniconda or use Anaconda. But we're going to start from scratch. So I'm going to show you how to use Honda. And the last one, like I mentioned, is QGIS. It's for you to like sometimes visualizing data. But throughout this course, we're going to develop tools to visualize, analyze data using Python without having to use desktop. So think about what we want is eventually you want to create something that users can access using a browser without having to install anything on their computer if it's just through the web. And QGIS is great, but you do need to install it on a local computer. And it's going to take some space, but we're going to utilize some at the beginning when you don't really know how to develop tools to visualize geospatial data yet. So those are the tools we are going to use. And also there are some cloud computing platforms. We also use Google Colab. So Google Colab is a free cloud computing environment provided by Google that allow us to run Python code. So this is where you're going to develop your package, and then you're going to develop some examples that allow other people to run. And so we're going to use Google Colab. Basically, user can click a button, and then you can open it up, and then they can run the source code. So I might have later when we cover, for example, the Python basics. This is where you're going to see, for example, there's an icon here for Google Colab, or you can hover your mouse here. There's also a Colab button. All you can do is here, I can right click, open this one in Google Colab. And then if we open this one in Google Colab, so if you log into your account, then you can start running through the source code without having to install anything on your computer. So this is basically cloud computing. Otherwise, you have to set up all the Python, Miniconda, and all kind of stuff on your computer. And this one is great for doing training, for teaching, and also it's free. You don't need to pay anything. And so we're going to use this one later this semester when we start developing packages and also covering the Python basics. All right, so that's about Google Colab. There are some other cloud computing environments in here. We will not cover a lot about this. This is a little bit more advanced, and it's not the purpose of this course, but we might use Google Engine, later this semester. There also AWS SageMaker, Studio Lab, and also Microsoft Planetary Computer. This one right now only has data and API. They don't really have the IDE. But the SageMaker Studio Lab is basically a Jupyter Lab environment. It's also free. So if you want to try it out, you can do that. But Google Engine is the most popular and most powerful environment that you can run large-scale geodata processing. So think about if you want to develop your package at the end, you may build on top of Google Engine. You may build on top of GMap. We will cover that later. For now, just let you know, this is some of the cloud computing one that's quite popular in geospatial. And why use Google Colab? It's free. It's and they also have a lot of AI tools right now. So if you use Google Colab, if you create, quickly showing here, they have start writing code or you can generate code with AI. So they have a lot of powerful features. We'll cover more when we start using. Right now, you don't have to worry too much. So this is kind of a brief overview about the tools we're going to use. Any questions so far? If you have any questions, raise your hand. I can slow down. If not, now let's get to each individual software package. So the first one here, I recommend, although you can install like in different order, but this is what I recommend. start with VS Code first, and then Git and Miniconda. So this software have been pre-installed on all the lab computers, so you don't have to install it. But for your personal computer, then I'm going to show you step by step how to install it. First one, Visual Studio Code or VS Code. You can check out the website. So this is the one developed by Microsoft. It's I forgot when they initially released, but it has become the most popular IDE in the software development community, and it's very small, but you can have a lot of extensions. So this is what we're going to cover here, and you can just go to the website, open the link, it will take you to the website. So from here, you can download this one for your operating system. So for today's class, I use Windows. I normally use Linux, but most of you use Windows, so I want to make sure that the interface are the same. But after today, I will not be using Windows. Okay, so just let you know. But I have uninstalled everything, so I'm going to start from scratch. If you already have this one on your computer, you can ignore it. So I'm going to download this one to my computer and download to my downloads directory. Hopefully, it's not taking too long. You see here right now is only like 100 megabyte. Used to be much smaller, but with all the new functionalities, it becomes larger and larger. So one thing I want to mention here is you will look on the homepage here, you will see your code editor, refine with AI, get Copilot free. It used to get Copilot used to cost $10 per month, but now they make it free for everyone. So basically, you can use that, but I think the free version has a limit, like I forgot like how many, like 100 times auto completion or something like that. But it's better than nothing. So if you are a student, if you have EDU email address, you can get GitHub Copilot for free. I might maybe cover that later, but for now, just keep that in mind. GitHub Copilot is the one we are also going to use. Otherwise, you have to type everything like manually. GitHub Copilot is going to do auto completion. Just like right now, you're using Gmail or whatever, right? They know what you're trying to reply, and then they just have the sentence. So you just tap and then done. But we use that quite a lot, and you will see the power of using this. Of course, if you're beginners, I would try to limit the use of AI, because if you don't understand what those things are, and if you just use AI to do everything for you, then it's not really in yours. So I want to make sure that, just like if you're new beginners, make sure you learn how to walk before you run. Okay, otherwise you're going to fall down very quickly. So you because you don't have the foundation. But once you are very good, then AI and GitHub Copilot can increase your productivity. When I first got started in doing this open source, maybe around 2020, for the first 3 or 4 years, I typed every single line of code by myself and have do all the debugging. It took a lot of time, but now I can my productivity has been double and triple, so I can write a lot of code very quickly using those AI tools. Anyway, we covered it later this semester. So once you download this one, now I can open this one on my computer. Then the rest should be pretty straightforward. Double click and then follow the instructions. There are some settings I want to change, and then I will point it out when we are there. So just click next and next. So these are the couple options here I want you to check. So the first one, open call. Open with call action to Windows Explorer file context menu. I would check this too, and maybe check all the boxes. If you are on a Mac computer, it should be very much similar. So how many Mac users? 2. Okay, so 3. So looks like majority will be Windows, but Mac should be the same. The installer, you open it up, should be quite similar. Do you see this interface? No pop-up. Okay, no worry. Don't. It's not essential, because on a Mac computer you can just open the app later. But yeah, so If it doesn't, that's fine. The reason I want to check this too is later you can right click, open the directory without having to like open the software first. So check all the options and then just next, install, wait for a couple seconds, and then it should be done. So you're going to install this one to your computer, then you should be able to find that one on from the start menu. For Mac users, you can use the terminal to open it. I will show you later. Or you can, I think it's installed into the application directory. So hopefully it's not taking too long. Almost done. And okay, you can click just the finish button and then launch VS Code. Oops, I don't know why it opened twice. So when they initially open, it should be just empty. Press any key subsection. Windows. Not sure why they asked me this. Anyway, I'm going to skip this one. So when it initially open, it should just like there should be a welcome, like when you first open it should be a welcome like landing page or something. Anyway, don't worry too much right now. So this will be just the software. So then you can open this one from a directory or whatever. Right? So I can, if I close it right now, if I right click somewhere on the Windows computer and show more options, I believe this one should be like open with code. On Mac computer, I'm not quite sure, but so for Mac computers, you can open your terminal and then you can just type code, CODE, and then period. COD is basically just the name of the program. Period means open in the current directory. So if I press this one, then it's open code on your current directory. For example, here I have a lot of stuff. But just it. Anyway, right, so we use that more later. For now, just finish the installation, then we should be done. You see some error message in here on my terminal, but we ignore it. We fix it later. All right, so that's about the VS Code. And oh, I forgot to mention, we need to install some extensions. So let me open again. So Windows, Code, and open it. So open that on your Windows or Mac computer. Then we close file, close folder first. Okay. On the lower left corner, you should see this icon here, like a person icon. Click the account, and I think probably because I already logged in using Git. So on here, if you click this one, is there should be an option saying that sign in to something. I don't know what it looks like. If you click this one, and then from here, is there a menu asking you to sign in? And then if you click, it's open something at the top here, and then asking you to sign in using GitHub or Microsoft. Yes? Okay. So what you need to do is to create a GitHub account. If you don't have one yet, just head over to github.com. And if you already have an account, then you can log in. If not, let me see what it looks like. github.com. So here, sign up. I would recommend don't use your university email. Use your personal email. I would recommend because after you graduate, you might lose access. So you want to just use your personal email, Gmail, whatever email account. Just do whatever need to sign up. And it's very important here, username. Choose something that's descriptive and short. You don't have a terrible name that's very long, and avoid using hyphen or underscore or something, just like whatever name that you normally use for your uh, email or whatever, like social media, but they don't choose something very funny, because this is the one that people are going to see your stuff. And it's also your GitHub repository that I'm going to see every time when I'm grading assignment. So don't give a name that's offensive and professional, okay? Choose a professional name. And once you finish verify your account, then you can come back to VS Code here, open this one, and whatever it is here, sign in, and then sign in with your GitHub account. And after that, make sure that you see this one, settings sync is on, okay? The reason for that is we want to sync all the extensions we want to install. So if you see the website here, I show you some information, additional information here on how to install all the extensions. So I think it's under VS Code download. I think somewhere. Oh, here. This is the instruction to synchronize all the settings and also the extensions. So make sure you follow up this. So when it pop up asking you to sync those, you can just select all of them. It'll be the settings, the extensions, the key bindings, UI, blah blah, whatever. Do you see that? Because I already selected that earlier, so I don't see the dialog. It pops up when you sign into GitHub. Do you see the asking you to select? No. Oh, you already signed. Okay, that's fine. You should be fine. So as long as you set the settings is synced, then you should be good to go. And after that, you should see this one, your GitHub username. You may not have this one yet if you don't activate GitHub Copilot. So I have these two in here, but you should have the first one. Okay. Yes. Okay. Click backup and sync settings, and sign in with GitHub. Yeah, that's good. I haven't seen that interface for a long time, so I already signed in. Any other issues? So you open a tab on your browser and then ask you to authenticate whatever, then just allow. Then it should come back to VS Code. So you definitely want to use this one, because otherwise you lose all your history and the settings if you do that on another computer. So for example, you're doing on your personal computer, later you want to switch to lab computer. If you sign in, everything will be downloaded automatically. So it's nice to enable this one. All right, any other issues? If not, now that's on the left side here, click this extension, this icon, like 3 squares, and then another one here, 4 squares. So if you click this one, it should pop up, and right now I have already installed 24 extensions. If for you, if new users, you probably 0, maybe 1 or 2, I don't know the default one that has been installed, but there's a number here, 24. What's the number on your end? 0. Okay, that's good. So what kind of extension we're going to use here? Let me go back to the website. I have the list of extensions here that it's very useful. So if you go up here, I'm going to show you here Python, definitely the one that we need. And then Jupyter, GitHub Copilot. So I will say these 3 are the extension one for this course. And there's also another one here called extension pack. This is the one that's actually a curated list of extensions. I'm not sure if any of you have used what's the social media called? Blue Sky. No, not yet. The Blue Sky also has a pack that allows you to follow something, and then you follow a lot of users, just like basically a one-stop shop of doing something. So I recommend here use the extension pack. So if you open this one, it will take you to the Microsoft website. Here, these are some of the extension pack in here. For example, if you click the Python, it is just the extension pack. Oh no, this is just in the individual one. Oh, this one. Look at this one. Microsoft Python Data Science extension pack. So if you want, you can take a look at this one, and it shows you it has this kind of extension. So if you install this one, it will install all of them. And what you can do here, let me show you how to do that. Come to VS Code. So under on the source box, just type Python data science, and then just hit enter, search it. It should pop up. Okay. So look at the first one here, Python data science. You can just click this install button, or you can click this one on the right here. It should pop up. So you can also install from here. And if you scroll down here, this one will show you the extension. So essentially, this one include 4 extensions. This extension pack include 4 extensions. Yes. Yes, if you want, you can, yeah, you can install it as well. So these are all free, so you can install anything you want. But whenever installing something, make sure you look at maybe the download numbers and also the star. Exactly just like you are installing an app from App Store or Android. You want to install something that's very popular and is like have good review, because there are some uh, virus stuff sometimes people put on there. It happens before that is going to steal your information from a computer. So try to install something from authentic user like Microsoft or other big tech companies. Be careful other smaller one that have people never use it or it's not very popular. So for me here, just click this one, install, and you can leave this auto update box check, and it might take a couple seconds. Once it's done, you will see here. I don't know why it keep popping up this one. And sometimes you might need to restart a VS Code. It will ask if it says that, then you do that. Otherwise, you see, it's done. So now on the left side here, if you go back to your extension tab again, you can remove the source term. You should see the install right now. How many? What's the number now? 12? Wow. That means it has some other dependency. So you install a lot of other stuff. And so the Python data science, and it already include the Python Jupyter, also the Giga Copilot. So pretty much those are the extension one that you need. You're welcome to install other packages, other extensions. I have a list of extensions in here that's useful. So if you scroll down here, there are some of these in here. So later this semester, when we use some of these, I will let you know. For example, auto doc strings. So docstring basically is when you develop Python code, functions, classes, you want to add documentation. So documentation is very important when you are using IDE to do like auto completion, taking the help documentation. Is going to use this one, or we can use AI or whatever. We'll show you later. And for others, I would recommend maybe one of these, because we're going to use Markdown quite a lot for documentation for your package. It's useful to install either one of these, Markdown all-in-one or Markdown shortcuts. I forgot which one I use, but they provide similar functionality. So what you can do here is go to vehicle, just search Markdown, MARKDOWN, and Markdown all-in-one, and there's another one, Markdown shortcut. On this one. Yeah, install this one, Markdown all-in-one. So this one has 10 million downloads. It's a good one. So just install it. Okay. Then you pretty much you're enough. You are welcome to explore other extensions if you want to. If you click this, I think under the category or something, or if you click this filter icon, and from here you can say filter most popular. Exactly, just like your own app store. You're trying to look at, like, trying to find something new to install. You can see which one is the most popular, right? And you can try those things out, because sometimes people develop new packages, and it's great to try out those. You see here, Python, Pylance, Jupyter. These are the most popular we have installed. And there's some other stuff in here, Python debugger, um, prettier, intelligent code, blah blah. You don't need all that, okay? It's there's something that you want to, if you're really boring, you don't know what to do, then explore what kind of new things out there and then install it. If you don't like it, come back to here and install, and then it's gone. You can also disable it if something is behaving very funny on your computer, then you can disable that if needed. All right, so if you, and then make sure here, again, come back to this one, make sure that setting sync is on, and also I think turn cloud changes or something, make sure those are all turned on. So next time if you log into another computer, VS Code, it will download all the extensions to the computer automatically, so you don't have to redo it every time. Okay, questions? So this is about setting up VS Code. Again, we haven't started doing coding yet, so there's not really much to cover right now. But those are basically the software we're going to use at the FI, the extension we're also going to use. So now we are done with the first software. There are a lot of keyboard shortcuts in here. Again, I will cover this when we start doing coding. So you do need to know some of these keyboard shortcuts. It's very useful. If you want to really become a professional programmer, you need to avoid using your mouse. Okay, limit the use of your mouse. Everything is just keyboard shortcut, and then just like when you're watching movies, those hackers all just keep typing on the keyboard, and then the number dropping from the screen. They don't use the mouse a lot because it's not that efficient. Anyway, we cover that later this semester. So now let's move to the second one, Git. As I mentioned, Git is a version control system that allows you to keep track of the changes in the source code. And GitHub is where you host all the source code, and it utilizes Git. So first, let's install it. Go to the Git website and download this one for your operating system. So for me, I'm going to use Windows. Click. Then click here to download. Click the link. Download to your computer. And then just double click. So it's very much similar to VS Code. It's very straightforward, but there's an option that allows you to choose an IDE. So you might want to choose VS Code since we are using Code. So once you have downloaded the program, double click, and then next. I already have that because I've installed it before. Anyway, I'm going to yes, and I think here there's no serious setting there I need to change. Anyway, you can just next use the default settings, then next. So from here, if you want text editor from the drop down list, you can select use Visual Studio Code as Git's default editor because we have already used Git. Okay, I already installed VS Code earlier. So choose the option use VS Code as the default editor. Then next. Yeah, you can use all the default settings. I don't think you need to change anything else. I don't know why they present so many. So it's confusing, but okay. So yes. I think you can use Homebrew or something to use Git. So it's easier actually. Does it provide the Mac OS? Yeah, I forgot, but yeah, you can install using the interface. So if you Mac user, you can use a Homebrew or something like that. Actually, I prefer using Linux. Everything that we're doing here can be installed using one command line. I don't have to download. I don't have to go to all the website. I will show you next time when so it's like one line, all the software, one command line. So it's so much more efficient. Anyway, it's done. So even not done yet. Okay, then just click finish. That's it. On your Windows system, now you should be able to just type Git. It should come out with a Git bash, Git GUI, Git CMD or something like that. If you're on Mac computer, you can just use the terminal, type Git If it comes up, that means you're good. If not, then something is missing. So for example, here, I'm going to open the Windows terminal. And if I type git, hopefully you see something like this. That means your git is properly installed. If not, that means it may not be added to your system environment yet. For Windows user, can you try this one? Can you open the terminal or the PowerShell or something? If you have not installed terminal, you can just type terminal and see if you can find this one. If not, then you might need to install it from the App Store. And after that, you should have the terminal. Yes? Good question. So the terminal is kind of like what we did before, so-called the command prompt. So, and now the terminal more like the modern version. I may not be the right answer. It's kind of like ArcMap and ArcGIS Pro. Now this one looks a little bit better, I think. But it might, behind the scene, it might use very much similar. But here you will still see the PowerShell because you can actually switch them. So the new terminal allows you to use different types of command. So for example, Windows PowerShell, Command Prompt, PowerShell, Azure Cloud Shell, and I also have some virtual system in here. You can do everything all at once. You see here. So the PowerShell is more like the modern version of Command Prompt because it allows you to use a lot more other stuff. So I would recommend that you install the terminal. I forgot where how I installed it. I think it's through the app. Is it on your computer? Is it? It might be easier. Oh, built-in already? Okay, that's better. When I used it a couple years ago, it's like you have to install it. So it's good that now it's built-in. So in here, once you open it up, type git, see if it works or not. If not, then we might need to deal with that. If it works, then perfect. We don't need to do anything else. Or you can also type git -- version. It should show you what's the version that has been installed on your computer. Right now it's 2.47.1 Windows 2. So on the Mac computer, it's the same. Just type git. Does it work? Yeah, you open the terminal and then you type git, hit enter. Does it show you something? No? It might show you like git is not installed or something. You need to ignore. Then if not, yeah, you need to install it. Or you can just Google it. Install git on Mac. Download for Mac OS. I think you can install using like command. Installing git. You see this one here. Oh, right here, just home blue install git, then install git. You can just use the command line, and then everything else will be just using the default setting. brew install git. Okay, so for Windows users, we are pretty much done. And one thing right now I want to make sure is that you need to configure your username and your email. So this one is very important because later you're going to push this one to GitHub, and you need to make sure that you are using the same email that you sign up for your GitHub account. Otherwise, it will not work, okay? Because when you push things to GitHub, you will identify where does that come from. So for example here, I can go to my course, go to GitHub, and then repository. This is where it's going to identify. So if you go to the history, click the history button. Here you will see here it's going to show you my name, my ID. This is the one that's actually I set on my computer. So when you push, because I already authenticate VS Code, link to GitHub, so everything is automatic. But if you haven't not done it, then do this one. So on the website, copy these 2 lines of code here, Control C, and maybe open a notepad, make changes first. I want to open a notepad, and I want to paste these 2 lines. Oops. This. Okay. So in here, change to your name, whatever name you're going to show up on GitHub. So use the same one that you have signed up. So I'm going to use my name here. And then the second one will be your email. So make sure you keep the double quotes. Otherwise, if you have a space, don't have double quotes, you're going to run into errors. So the second one will be my email. Again, change this one to whatever email that you use for your GitHub. Okay, so git config global user.name and then double quotes your name. Similarly, user.email and then your email address. So once you're done, Control C. Then open your terminal. So on Windows, just open the terminal. Then just Control V. Paste anyway. Hit enter. Hopefully, no error message. If there's anything, then we need to fix it. So after that, you can verify whether you have set that correctly or not. So let me, oops, what is this? Something is wrong on my, I cannot move things. Oh, good. Okay, so here you can just type git config dash list. Mine is so many lines, but essentially it will be these two lines that are the most important one. User.name, user.email. Make sure it is the one that you want to use. If it's not, then you can try to, if there's any typo, try to fix it. All right, does it work? No? Uh-huh. Oh, it's probably going to take some time. So you can, I think installing Homebrew might take, because it's downloading another package. So you can wait after class, or you can download the GUI. Don't worry, I will help you set it up, make sure it's okay. Any other questions? All right. If not, then we're done with the second one. So again, this is just software that we're going to use to do version control, and it has been integrated in VS Code. So if you open VS Code, on the left side here, you will see number 3, the icon, this one, like a tree. This one is the version control. So later, when we are writing source code, later we can push things from Git to GitHub. So pretty much, you don't need to use the Git base or the command line, the terminal anymore. Going forward, everything will be just within VS Code. So it has everything that we need. You don't need to use any other, although we are installed and then it's showing up in here, like on our computer, but we don't need to use this at all after we have set things up. All right, so that's about Git. And the last one, Miniconda. So Miniconda is basically a package management environment that allow us to create so-called isolated environments. The reason for that is when you're doing software development, there's so many versions. Python, for example, Python 3.8, 3.9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's so many, right? Even for ArcGIS, ArcGIS Pro 3.1, 3.2. When you're doing software development, you need to make sure that your package is running smoothly on different Python versions, on different operating systems. So how do you make sure that you can do that? You're not going to have all the computerized, so you're not going to, for example, right now I'm using Windows. But how do I make sure that my software runs very well on Mac, on Linux, or any other operating systems, right? And also there are different Python versions, and there's so many things. So when you're trying to develop something, you need to make sure that it runs nicely everywhere. And this is where it's very important to use Conda. So Conda, Miniconda, and Conda. So Conda basically is just the one we're going to use, but Miniconda comes with Conda. So that's why we want to install Miniconda. So basically, Conda is a package management tool that allow us to create isolated environment. So what we can do here right now, just quickly download. Let me see how much we only have 5 minutes. So I'm gonna go very quickly. So from here, you can click this one. There should be, where's the installation? Quick one line, Miniconda. Okay. Where's the installation? It's installing Miniconda. On the left side here, if you click the menu, then you should be able to find Windows installation or Mac. So for example here, oh, looks like they changed something. Installing Miniconda download is, huh? The installer is gone. One line of code. Anyway, let's use this one. Okay, Windows command prompt or PowerShell or Mac. You can also follow instruction here. So for me, maybe just use this. Copy the command line here, and then just come back to the terminal. And then once you open it up, just Control V, paste anywhere. You should be able to download this one and then just install it. It's the same thing. It used to provide the website, they keep changing, so I don't know what they are doing, but you can use this command line to install it. So just copy the command line, paste it. What happened? Blah blah. Start process. Delete. Okay, so let me close it and then open one more time. See. Uh. Oh, okay. Maybe it's slightly different. So Windows file, wait, delete, start process file. It used to have the installer, so I don't know why they removed it. How to verify? Anyway, so let me try this one again. PowerShell. So I'm gonna go to my maybe by downloads directory. Let me open the terminal here and install it again. Again, if you already installed Anaconda, Miniconda before, it's fine. You don't have to put it again. So let me try one more time. Or WG. Anyway. Older version. Oh, download older version. Repo Miniconda. Oh, okay. It's here. So it's hiding. So if you scroll down all the way to the end, we can download older version. It's fine. So Repo Anaconda Miniconda. So if you click here, I'm going to find this one. It's still the latest one. Miniconda latest Windows 8460. So you can click this one and then just download it. It has an interface. For Mac computers, you should download here Mac OS, right? X84, 8664 package or the PowerShell package, whatever you like. And so let me do it quickly. We're running out of time. Just 1 minute. So okay, I have this here, and just double click. Next, agree. Next, next. The only thing that you want to pay attention is here. So you're going to install Miniconda 3 under your home directory. So just keep it as default. Don't try to change it. Change things. Might cause trouble. And then just let it finish. Then it should be done. So in the next lecture, we're going to cover how to actually create the virtual environment. So you can think about this one is allow you to create isolated environment that allow you to install different things. And once you're done, you can destroy it. It's just like a temporary environment or space. Kind of like in this building, there are so many rooms. Right now, I just create a hypothetical building. Inside it again, okay, this is for teaching, this is for office, this is something else. Kind of a serve different purposes. And once you're done, you can just, okay, one button, everything is gone. You can reconstruct everything. So it's a nice one that we need to use. Otherwise, if you install things to your Python directly to your operating system, it will mess things up because different packages, different software might require different version, but you can only have one default Python on your computer. For Conda, we don't have that problem, so you can install different version of Python. And okay, done. And then Finished. So now we are finished with this lecture. I will see you next week.